Hi, vinyl community. It's Andy coming finally back in Austin, Texas after my semester up in Canada. So I wanted to show some stuff that I had picked up just towards the end of my stay there. I had gone through Detroit to fly home, and I went to a really cool record shop called People's Records. I got a couple of things from my want list there. And then I also had ordered some stuff while I was there over the semester that got shipped home that I hadn't really got a chance to listen to since I was there I only came home once or twice. So first, some stuff that and then some stuff I picked up since I've been home because I had dropped off a bunch of records to a local shop to sell on consignment for me, and then I used some of that store credit to grab some stuff. So first, this is one that I got from local shop End of an Ear. This is a compilation of Erkin Koray, a Turkish psychedelic folk rock musician. I was in Istanbul last summer for work, and I heard this song, Estarabim, and I really liked it. And then I went and I started doing some research on Turkish records, especially like rock music from the 60s and 70s. And it turns out to be super collectible. My co-author, the person I was visiting there, she took me to a record shop where the guy had all these like first pressings, but they were all like $200, $300 because I guess, people go there and buy these things and then go and make these comps off of the records. This is like kind of an enormous one. It's got 2 records. It's got that song Estarabim, it's Faraway Sounds, and it's got an awesome cover. Yeah, people know him there, actually. My co-author was like, oh yeah, that song, that's a big hit. So she took me around looking for that, which was really nice of her. Some stuff I got from eBay while I was gone. This is Coltrane on Impulse. This is the second cover for this. This is an A21, so it should have the original cover. This one does not. It's got that cover with the ABC records. Still, pretty good. I don't see this record in real life very often, so I was happy to get it. And I got it in a lot with some sort of funky stuff like Blue Mitchell and Grant Green Blue Notes that I'll be selling. Not that I don't love them, but I don't, it's not something I'll collect. So I'll be taking that to another local record shop to sell on consignment at some point in the next couple of days. This, I think I mentioned this before. Oh, I was so happy to get this. This is a mono, bullseye, plum and orange, first pressing, Shape of Jazz to Come. As you guys know, one of my all-time favorite records. I love Ornette Coleman. Look at that wonderful white toy saxophone and that geeky sweater with the shirt tucked under it. This was one of these things where a person was selling on eBay. They had no history of selling records, and they had said they had no photos of this. They just said old record from the 50s, Ornette Coleman, Shape of Jazz to Come, good shape. And so I messaged them and I said, can you take a photo or tell me exactly what the label looks like? And they sent me this photo, and I bought it right away for $20 with shipping. And so I was so happy to get that. I need to clean the cover a bit, but that's one of these things that will not leave my possession. A couple more eBay buys. I love the 10-inch Blue Notes, and even though it's not my usual style, I enjoy the tone on Sidney Bechet's clarinet. I think he plays clarinet. It might be, what do they call it? It probably has it's probably some other related instrument, but I love that tone. So I got 2 of these as part of a package deal with an ESP Super Avant-Garde record that I don't have sitting with me right now. It's over on the other shelf. Charles Tyler. So I don't know whose collection this was, but maybe somebody like me. So this is Sidney Bechet Jazz Festival Concert Paris 52, and this is Sidney Bechet and his Jazzmen. What are you going to do? This is like New Orleans style, traditional Well, not traditional. Still has some swing to it. I like this stuff. I have a couple other Sidney Bechet original Blue Notes. They're kind of easy to get relative to other original Blue Notes. These were like $10 each or something, and they're in great shape. And I love the shape of a 10-inch. I think I've said this before, but something about the cover art, to me, the 10-inch size is the perfect one. CDs are too small. I think 12 inches are too big for me. I like the 10-inch cover art size. Something I picked up one of my last days in London, Ontario. We went to this record shop that usually doesn't have much in the way of jazz. They had this. This is a Prestige second pressing on the Bergenfield, New Jersey label of Relaxin' with the Miles Davis Quintet. Sounds great. A little noisy because I think this is one of those ones where they use recycled vinyl. Maybe I already showed this on the last. Maybe I made a video just before I left. I'm not sure, but yeah, I like that a lot. And that's a beautiful cover. My wife really likes that. She's a graphic designer, and when I put this down on the shelf, she was kind of, "Ooh, what's that?" From the $10 record guy just before I left. And again, I may have shown this one. I'm not sure. Got this, Ramones, End of the Century. This has, I think, one of their best songs on it. It has, it has Rock and Roll High School, which is a great song. But it has Do You Remember Rock and Roll Radio, which I love the nostalgia on that. Do you remember lying in bed with the covers pulled up over your head? Which is a perfect kind of sentiment from Joey Ramone. I think Joey actually wrote that one. I don't think Dee Dee wrote that one. I'm not sure though. But I like that record a lot. Another one that I got, surprisingly, I won this auction. And again, I think it was because the person didn't really put photos. I don't know why people on eBay do this, but I love it because I'm willing to take the risks often. I guess that's one of the really wonderful things about living in Austin. I could take a risk on like a record that's not well described, and as long as it's not too expensive, I can sell it on consignment at a record shop here. And there's such a huge demand for records of all sorts here, and there are 3 record shops that will take consignment. I usually do just for indie rock or like rock stuff or psych, I do one. For jazz, I do another. But it's just wonderful because I can take risks. And if it's not a first pressing, if somebody says New York label on a Blue Note, as long as, I don't pay more than, say, $25, $30 for something like that, then I'm going to be able to get most, if not all, of my money back. Because I like to keep them almost, for the most part, I try to keep them only if they're true originals with the ear. So this is Andrew Hill. This one I just rolled the dice. Judgment. It's got Bobby Hutcherson, Richard Davis, and Elvin Jones on there. This is New York label, but it's got the ear, so it's before the sale to Liberty. The vinyl is in near mint shape. Sounds perfect. Unfortunately, the cover must have had water damage or something because the back is shredded. That kind of sucks. Maybe I'll find an original cover with beat up record one day on eBay for a reasonable price, and then I can mix and match. That's mono, which I always prefer mono. I keep threatening to build a single mono speaker here in my living room because I actually listen to. I use my mono cartridge even for stereo records often. I just like it. Which I'm actually going to do a quick little stereo tour here in a second because I've noticed people doing that and I like that. And I want to show off my turntable that I built before I might sell it. So there's 3 more records here. Let me go through these quickly. All these were eBay grabs. No, People's Records grabs on one of them. This was an eBay grab. Serge Gainsborough and Jane Birkin. Je t'aime. I don't know how to say that with the French exactly. This is, I think it's a U.S. pressing on Fontana with the green label. I have no idea what Fontana labels were early, which ones were late. I've seen the Blue Label one going for crazy money, but who knows? But I love this record. Not just because it has orgasm noises all over it, but it does have orgasm noises all over it. But I just love that sort of slick, funky sound that you get on all these Serge Gainsborough records. Moving back to rock, this was one I grabbed. Maybe this was eBay, I'm not sure. This is Ecstasy. No, this was this is something I got in Canada. Ecstasy English Settlement. I like Ecstasy a lot. I have quite a few other records, but this was one that I didn't have. This is kind of cool because the cover is textured. This is a Canadian pressing. I don't know if the US is like this. The cover is like textured to kind of feel like leather. I thought that was kind of cool. This has... I don't know if this had any real hits. Let's see. Yeah, this had Senses Working Overtime, which is... Oh God, that's a great song. The way that they hit the beat on that is wonderful. I like those guys a lot. And then the final one was another People's Records. So I also got some 7-inches at People's, like random stuff, Detroit garage rock, the Woolies, and Detroit funk stuff, which is I think kind of their specialty more than LPs. But they had this. They had a copy of Ballads, the quartet. This is not a very first one. This is ABC Paramount, and it's a Bell Sounds. I think the first one should have been AM Par, and I think it had Rudy Van Gelder in the Dead Wax. But I honestly think this sounds amazing. It's really laid back, so I can listen to it when my wife's around, and she doesn't get annoyed by it. I love it a lot, actually. Which I'm trying to fill out my Coltrane Impulse collection. I think I have almost everything now, either original or very early, but I need to get the Village Vanguard. So those are things I'm still looking for. Okay, yeah, but I think that's pretty good collection of records to show off. I'll have some more coming soon. I'm also selling a bunch these days, so I'm trying to get my collection. I hit like 700. I don't think that's reasonable to have for me, given my space constraints. And also, I realized I had a lot of stuff I just don't value very much. I had a bunch of like ambient Eno records. Oh, there's my kitty. I had a bunch of. Sorry about that. I had a bunch of ambient Eno records that I realized I never listened to them because, for one thing, even though they were perfect shape, they're noisy. So I prefer that on CD if I'm going to listen to it, I think. But I had other stuff. So I'm paring down. My taste right now is more on, post-bop, free jazz. So I'm buying that stuff. Some rock. I have a copy of the Kinks on Pi coming from. It's a Canadian pressing, but I bought that and I'm waiting for it to get here. So I think I'm trying to focus more on stuff I'm into right now and get rid of stuff that I don't listen to very much. That's what you guys will see. I think more jazz, more of this kind of stuff as I post it. But I'm going to end this video now, and then I'm going to make just a really quick one on my stereo system, which over the last couple of years has gone from kind of a true audiophile system to a mix and match of quasi-pro gear and classic gear. So I'll show you guys that in just a second.